I'm very excited to see this film, and I'm sure you are. And to shed more light, we've come to a portion now that we'll do a question and answer portion with our friends from the press. But before we take your questions, pwede ako muna, kasi dami kong tanong eh. I'd like to ask a few questions to certain members of the panel, and then we'll throw the Q&A portion to you guys. So ako muna. That's the perks of being the host. I'm holding the mic, so ako muna. Okay, so our first question. I know it's going to be slightly difficult because the trailer promises a film that's going to be quite revealing, quite forthcoming. I'd like to ask our first question to Diane. As a filmmaker, as a director, and a key figure in the film's production, how did you manage to balance the complexity of the band's journey, kasi dami pasikot-sikot yung kwento nila, while maintaining objectivity? Kasi meron tayong tendency to go for bias or sensationalism, but it being a documentary film, how did you as a filmmaker maintain that balance?
Kasi all this time, I think the things that we've heard about the band were mostly parang speculations. Nobody really knows what happened during the breakup or why it happened. So I think this is the guys reclaiming their narrative. And I had that sort of, I was lucky enough to have that chance to get to sit down with them, for them to reveal the story, to reveal their story. So for me, I think, as a filmmaker, as a documentary filmmaker, at least for this project, parang I wanted to honor that through truth. And I think in honoring that truth and preserving it, that was my way of, being objective. Yeah.
Was there a time or a moment that you found yourself holding back?
Ooh. I guess parang there were some truths na parang, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, that's kind of difficult. How am I going to approach this, of course? But at the end of the day, what I can say is I really tried my best to really uphold their truth. So I think what the people can expect is that this is a no holds barred, sort of like depiction of their story, and nothing is swept under the rug.
Oh, nothing is swept under the rug. That's going to be an amazing watch. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you.
For Mr. Rico Gonzalez from Warner Brothers, I have a question. Because when this was first announced, of course, we were all excited. I know it's getting released in cinemas nationwide, but why March 21 to 23 lang?
Okay, we've discussed it for quite a period of time, and we thought we want to make it special because this doesn't happen every day, and it's Eraserheads, and we thought that the experience, the audience of Eraserheads, they're used to watching them in concerts, in arenas, in coliseums, like a back-to-back, 3 days back-to-back shows. So we thought, bringing this documentary, we want to maintain that type of format also. But instead of coliseums and arenas, we want, and the whole nation to watch it, we want them to give the whole weekend of it. So it's like pattern to the release of the usual shows that they hold. Yeah.
So that's a good format to follow. Parang live din, but walang nagtuloy. Okay, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Mr. Rico. My next question goes to Mr. Francis Lumen. How do you manage the logistics of getting everybody together? Considering everybody's busy with their music-related projects, other things happening. You have the reunion, which gave birth to a tour, and the tour is still ongoing. There's Australia soon. How did you manage the logistics to get everybody together to make this film?
Patience. You really have to be patient because before we can do a one step forward, we have to coordinate with 4 or 3 managers, and so, but we have to do that so that we will all be in one page, So, but since we were fortunate enough that we've been doing this together for many years, this new initiative, this documentary, the making of concerts. Medyo meron na kaming template. We have already guys that know what to do, sila Ronald, sila Jan, and everybody else. So, ano na sila, once there's a project that's nabuo, everybody can move on and in an efficient way, no? But lots of coordination and lots of patience.
I love that. Lots of patience. Now, just a follow-up question. How did you balance this film's creative direction with the necessities of making a commercially viable film?
Again, you have to coordinate and communicate. Since Diane is doing the lead role for this, parang support lang kami, no? Because she has access to all the members, and one thing lang that we agreed that the pacing has to be nice, nothing boring, and then nothing sanitized. What you will really see is the E-heads with their ups and downs, and of course, we're all human beings, no? So even our weaknesses, our fault shows there, and then our desires to heal and reconcile is there too. So talaga, ang ganda nitong movie na to. I was so impressed, and I wanted to congratulate Diane for doing a great film.
Definitely can't wait to see this. Mr. Rico, you said you had...
Yeah, I'd just like to add something. I'd like to thank the cinema exhibition groups and the booking committee for accommodating the special release pattern that we're doing for this one. It has been done with foreign artists before, so this is the first time for EHEADS also, so we're doing this. So thank you for the cinema exhibitors.
And of course, also, I don't know if you noticed, this is also going to be the first Filipino documentary film released in Dolby Atmos. Of course, it's about music, it's going to sound good. All right, so I'd like to ask, Ali, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind. I've known you for a while. I've been a long time fan, even longer than I've known you. You're always known to be sort of vague and elusive about sharing your personal take or personal details. But in this documentary, it feels that you're now willing to be either more revealing or more forthcoming. What has changed and why now?
I don't know. Time has passed, and I believe in keeping something for yourself and not spoon feeding your audience. So you can see that in the music. It's not very literal. So I guess the boys and I like mystery and keeping things vague, but there comes a time when that I think works against you. So nagkakaroon ng misconceptions and urban legends, if you know what I mean, and myths regarding the band, which doesn't necessarily is not necessarily good for the band or the music. And so this time we chose a different tact and decided na I think this is it's high time that, like what Direct Diane said, it's to reclaim our narrative.
That's awesome. So, just another question. Since you mentioned the boys, how was it reconciling and reuniting with Marcus, Buddy, and Raymond? Did you guys sit down, talk things out? Did you have a heart-to-heart, or did you say, "Bahala na si Batman, let's rock and roll"?
This isn't our first reconciliations. We have gotten pretty good at it, and I see the parang efforts of everyone to move forward in a more optimistic and positive light. It's a far cry from 30 years ago.
Speaking of the boys, they're not here today. Bakit sila absent?
Yeah,
Wala.
I didn't notice.
Umulan and they stayed home. Puno na ba yung parking?
Yeah. We've decided na parang it's four talking heads is a bit much, and parang to stop the confusion, ako na muna ang mag-represent sa banda.
Alright. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, the whole panel, for your answers. Okay.